Hey guys, and you made it to the end of another video. Thank you very much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. Today we had Holiday by Green Day. Absolutely great track, really love it. So let's get into the sounds. As always, I've been running everything through Bias Effects. Green Day, if anybody's seen the rig rundown on Premier Guitar, which I'll link below, although I'm sure you have if you're watching this video this far, it shows that the band are using Marshalls, and they're using the ones with the Dookie mod, which is something about an extra tube and a gain cascade section or something or other. I don't understand the technical side of things, but it's Marshalls. So that's what I've used today with Bias Effects, gone straight for the Marshalls. And we'll start with the intro guitar. So I've just used the 69 Plexiglass, the V2 in Bias. Really nice, fairly, generic Marshall tone. It's on the edge of breakup. You hit a pedal in front of that, and that's gonna hit all sorts of gain, as much as you'd ever want. So that's what I've used, and then that's been EQ'd quite specifically to give it that radio hi-fi feel. So there's cut pretty much all the bass, all the treble, and then I've just boosted the mids as much as possible to give it that real small frequency. Which is kind of what you hear at the start of the song. Maybe I've not quite done that right, but that's how it came out to me. And then what I've done is, what I don't usually do, I've double tracked the rhythm guitars because it's such a big wall of guitar that comes in on Holiday, on the album and the single. You've got guitars left and guitars right, guitars left and guitars right. So for both of those I've used the Marshalls again, but I've used guitar in the left, I believe, is the 69 Plexiglass V2, and I've just driven that more, and as I mentioned earlier, I've just smacked a Tube Screamer in front of that to really push the front of that amp. It always seems a bit weird saying push the front of an amp when it's just in Bias, but of course that's how it all works, amp and pedal modelers. So Tube Screamer in front of that, and then I've pushed it just into what I found was quite a pleasant overdrive. There's a little bit of reverb, but not a lot. And then in the right side we've used the JTM 45 overdrive, or the overdriven channel. And again, I got that on the edge of breakup, and then hit that with the Tube Screamer as well. And I'll try and put the settings below for where I ended up. Both of those weren't actually on this guitar. If you've watched the video, so you know. The intro and those two layered guitars, that was all done on my Les Paul Standard 2009 with the burst buckers in it. So I don't actually have any guitars with a P90 in it. I should have bought one last year, but I got an Explorer instead because I've always wanted an Explorer. But a P90 guitar is definitely on my radar at some point. So maybe I haven't quite nailed the sounds that you would hear. However, he is of course known for playing Old Blue, which is a humbucker guitar, and Jason White does use Les Pauls and bits of ES 335s and stuff. So they do use humbuckers, just maybe not when recording this track. But yeah, so you've got two Marshalls, left and right, and one down the middle for the intro. The ones left and right, I'm going to stop doing it because I'm getting it wrong every time. They're EQ'd fairly similarly, to be fair. I've just high-passed them, taken them out, raised the top end a little bit, and then there's a couple of notches, slightly different on each one, just to push the mids and break them through that mix a bit. And then onto the final guitar, of course, is the solo guitar. Now, I've had to do a bit more to this, and I'm probably playing with way too much gain, but to try and replicate that holding on the 18th fret, with a loud amp, you just do that, and you do that. As long as you don't get feedback, give or take, you're going to be able to create that sustain, unless you're using something like an EBow. I don't know whether a Sustainiac pickup would work the same as well. I don't have either of those, so I just had to dime the gain, especially when using Bias Effects. With headphones, I'm not able to get that harmonic feedback or sustain really. For that I used the Gibson SG, the 2007 Standard, which I still don't know, but I believe these are classic 57s in there, but it could be the 490 and the 498T. I will figure that out one day, just not this day. So once again, I've used the Marshall for that, and it's the overdriven JM45, which obviously they're JTM 45 modelled amp. Then I've got the Tube Screamer in front of that, driving it a little bit more. The gain on the Marshall for the solo is higher than I've used for the rhythm tracks. And then what I've also put in there is the bit of delay and a bit of reverb. just to try and help that sustain and you know, just the notes kick out a little more. I haven't actually EQ'd that at this moment in time, but I imagine I'm going to pull out the bass, probably try and find a frequency that I can tuck that in around the mid-range, and then depending on what it feels like, I'll either take off the treble or put a little bit of treble on, depending on how I get on with the mixing side of things. I guess I should very quickly just say that in the guitars with the overdriven JTM, they're using the Celestion V30s, so that's what's being, you know, and then there was a guitar that was using the greenbacks, I think. Yeah, so that's the Plexiglass V2. That's using Bias FX's Green 25s. So there's a couple of different sounding cabs in there as well. I don't know how accurate Bias is on emulating your speaker cabs and stuff. Sounds really good. I implore anybody that does guitar at home, whether you're doing videos like this or whether you're just noodling, get Bias FX. It's, you know, I use it for all my recording, all my writing. It does sound really good. And I'm led to believe it takes pedals well, but if I'm getting my actual pedal board involved, then I stick them through my amp. That's just me. Anyway, I hope that you've really enjoyed this video. I had great fun doing it. It's a great song, and it's always nice when you pretty much one-take stuff. It's just a bit of a boost in your confidence. But please, if you've liked anything, like, share, subscribe, or even just hit the notification bell button just so you don't miss any future videos. It really does help, and especially trying to build the channel up. It will get the algorithm working. But if not, maybe just check back next time. Try and get videos out every weekend and every Wednesday. It's currently the 12th of April, so if I'm still saying every weekend and every Wednesday in 6 months, I'll be impressed. But we'll see what happens. But thank you very much for stopping by. Take care.